So let's do a cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you so much, Natalie, to be
Thank
in my
you.
show. It's called
I'm honored.
Mindfulness with Manish. The reason why I had this name for mindfulness is because to just have a free flowing conversation between two people all about meditation, yoga, lifestyle, how are people dealing with stress, depression, travel, entrepreneurship. It can go anywhere. Depends upon the guest and audience. So that's what it is about. It's a new channel. I hope people will like it, and thanks for being in the channel and this episode.
Of course, I'm honored.
Thank you so much. So why not we start with, I know you from like maybe last month or something. Our common friend introduced us, who I know for like 8 years or something. Her name is Sunita. She also came in one of the podcasts. She's awesome. So why not we start with a little introduction about you, where you come from, where you were born, how was your childhood like, and who you are personally in professional life as well. Yeah.
Okay, I love it. So I was born in Napa, California, so I'm from here, basically. My childhood was amazing. I'm super active. I love my family. I've always been really healthy. My mom was vegetarian, and I became vegan in high school. And at the time, it was like something that people just were you were looked at like it was kind of weird, right? So it's kind of like a little bit different in high school growing up. But
so you were vegan since your childhood?
Since 13. So that's pretty. You were vegetarian.
I was vegetarian, not since my childhood, but since my childhood. But I used to eat like chicken before. But when I was like, I would say 13-ish, same age, then some transformation happened.
What was it? Do you think was it more of like a moral thing? Or?
It was more of a religious thing, I would say. So I come from a Hindu family. I follow Hinduism, who have a lot of gods. And my mom got introduced with a lady who was worshipping Krishna, who is one of the gods in India.
Yeah.
And Krishna loves cows, milk, butter. And Krishna was born in a place called Vrindavan. It's in northern part of India. So that aunt used to go to Vrindavan, and my mom used to start going to Vrindavan again. And that's how she got introduced with that culture, like more Hinduism. And she came to know about, okay, eating meat is bad. It hurts animals. There's karma. We believe in reincarnations. What we do bad in this life gonna hurt us again. We have to pay our karma. So those kind of things she taught us. And we were small kids. We were like, hey mom, if you are saying let's not eat meat, yeah, why we will not eat meat. But if you're grown up, it's more difficult to reduce those, like get rid of those habits. I believe that.
I believe that too. 100%. And I do like something about eating live, like, I don't know, just doesn't sit well. But to each their own, right? And I love animals so much. So it's a hard thing.
Right.
But it does take you really have to know about proteins to make sure you're getting everything right.
Everything right. If you are because if you are vegan or vegetarian, it's hard to find that much amount of protein, but you can do it.
You can do it.
It's easier if you're non-veg or if you eat meat. That's what I feel. But it's not that impossible. You can still complete a macros, I would say, in vegetarian diet, I would say.
Completely, 100%. But it just takes that like learning experience, right?
It's a learning experience. So coming back to the discussion, you were talking about veganism and 13 years old.
How did we get into that? Yes. Okay. So I've always been really active. I played all these sports growing up. And then in high school, we were supposed to have a senior project. And I did mine on yoga. And it's just something I've always loved, like that whole approach of that mindfulness, something that was interesting to me. I don't really know why, but it just was. And then then I went to college, and then I lost my dad.
Oh, sorry about that.
It was really hard. And it was suddenly, unexpected, not planned. So we kind of just I lost everything all at once. And I kept running and doing everything, but it wasn't giving me what I needed until I found yoga.
Got it.
Right. And that was like something that I guess the mindfulness and all the things about it just felt so grounding, because it's like it's your safe space that's always there for you to go into your mind and like create whatever you need in the moment. Breathe, reconnect, recenter, rebalance.
Right.
So it was super grounding.
So when were you introduced with the yoga? How old were you?
In high school, I was into all sorts of everything. So I'd kind of dabble into it, but it didn't mean anything. It was just a workout to me at the time. And so when I lost my dad, it became more of a everything.
More
And
everything.
I just wanted to learn and keep going and really dive into that world. So I started pretty young.
Got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
And also the thing that you mentioned was recentering, realigning. The yoga is all about mind-body connection.
Yes.
And people got introduced with yoga after something happens in their life. As you mentioned, unfortunately, you lost your dad. You got introduced with yoga. I got introduced with yoga after basically during COVID times. I randomly joined, like I was doing yoga since my childhood with my mom, but yoga was not my passion. My passion was like
Right.
going to gym. I thought yoga was more of a flexibility thing, but yoga is more than that.
Oh, so
Yoga
much.
is like more about going more inwards. Like in my classes, I teach like one of the quotes, like thought of the day. One of the thought of the day is yoga is not a workout, it's a work in. You are going more deeper.
Right.
Yeah.
And yeah, I love that.
So tell me about your experience about like your yoga journey. What do you do in yoga? Professionally, let's talk about that.
Sure. So now I'm teaching a bunch of classes. I wanted to go, so I did a first 200-hour, right? And it was kind of a dabble between, more of a hatha flow. So very much power based, a little bit of meditation, but I haven't gone too deep into that yet. I have over like 700 hours of different trainings.
Wow. So,
Yeah.
but you have certification of that 700?
I do.
Wow. So you are certified 700.
But before I taught, I was like, okay, I feel like I need to learn more and more and more and more. And I just kept going and going and going until I had this experience to teach yoga in Como, Italy.
Got it.
And so I did that, and I just love it. I love helping people with what helped me, if that makes sense.
That makes sense.
Giving back
To the community. So you did your certification in Italy?
I did my certification here, and I did a bunch in core power too, which is very much just like heat workout music live.
Right.
Which is fun. It gets you out of your mind and out of your thoughts and just into your body. Right. So, and now I'm teaching, but now it's also personal training. So I do a bunch of everything, kind of like lifestyle coaching, weights, running, cardio. It's a whole picture.
Right. So you give the entire like experience about like personal training, group classes.
Yes.
Everything together.
Not just specifically yoga anymore.
Not just specifically yoga.
No.
Okay, got it.
And it's actually something I really miss.
Something you really miss.
It's just getting more into the yoga.
Right. So clients come to you with different requirements, like they're having pain or something.
So like I'll assess you and I'll see what you need most to get you to your optimal range of like how you need to live better or stronger. What is gonna like give you more energy.
Can you see a person and can you like basically see a person and say, okay, this is something that you should be doing? I see this is something wrong in your body.
I'd have to ask you some questions.
Okay.
And like do some movement screens, and then yes, I can.
Okay. So you ask the person do some movements.
And it's of course it's my opinion of what I think, but yes.
Got it. Yeah.
You could see like if your right side is stronger than your left side, or does that make sense?
That makes sense.
If you're sleeping enough, if you're eating the right thing for your body or what it needs.
Right. I went to one of the yoga classes and the teacher was so smart. And I think that more deeper you go into yoga, the teachers are like, they pick basically the thing which is like missing in your body. So I was, during that time, I was sitting like this, like one shoulder was tilted down. So it's like, do you have any problem on your back or why you are sitting? It's just my way of like sitting like this.
Do you?
But, yeah.
Do you have a problem on your back?
I never thought about it, right? It just comes in my subconsciousness, like, okay, let's sit like this, but that's not the right way to do it.
No, you have to like recorrect and recenter.
Yeah, recorrect or do this, or maybe sit like properly like this. That's how you should do it. But yeah, that's what yoga taught me, alignment.
Yes.
Because our job is like just sitting 24 hours.
Oh yeah.
And our body is so inflexible. It can break.
I know, right? There's so many things that we're dealing with in this world.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I love that you said that, because I think it helped me tap into my own intuition and listen to what my body needs.
Right.
Versus just like pushing through everything and muscling through it.
Right.
Does that make sense?
That makes sense. Yeah, muscling through it. Yeah, I would say to balance a body, yoga, like muscle training, some kind of muscle training, and also mind balance. Both three or four things are required, and also a healthy living, as in the food.
Oh yeah,
Everything is required
I agree.
to be a mindful person, to be a healthy person. So that's the important thing. Why not we talk about? I think you mentioned you were a model before,
Yes.
modeling career. So that happened before yoga, is it? Or that was
That happened before. So it was before,
Hmm.
and it's so superficial. It can be, right? And I think having that yoga, like to go home to and do on the side, it's a really good balance
Hmm.
because it's humbling, it's grounding. No one cares what you look like, no one cares what you're doing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's you and your body. And that's something that's really cool. But the modeling, great experience. Love the creativity. I love fashion. I love traveling.
So you
It
were a
was
model
fun.
for like an agency, like ad agency. Like, can you tell a little bit about that?
Sure. So I was discovered actually on Facebook.
Yeah.
This agent at
Okay.
the time, she reached out to me and was like, I really like your look. Come into the office. We want to see you. We want to, whatever. So I did that. And she signed me, and I started getting these jobs all around San Francisco.
Mhm.
And I really loved it. It was fun. It was exciting. Like the fashion shows, they're fast. There's so many people that are building you to be this creation of whatever the designer wants.
Right. And that was in
it's
San
fun. And
Francisco.
it was in San Francisco.
Okay.
And then I was like, okay, I want more of this. And so I went to New York to try that out.
Got it.
And it wasn't so great.
It wasn't great.
Well, no.
Okay.
There's some shady stuff that goes into the modeling world.
Is it like casting couch or something? That's what I heard.
Maybe a little bit.
Okay, maybe a little bit.
But there's also in New York, if you don't go the right direction, there's a lot of, how do I say this? You could go, there's a lot of clubby promoter type things.
Okay.
Right? And it's like, oh, stay out late, or we'll get you this job, or we'll do that thing.
They promise you things, but they don't deliver, and they expect you to do something for them.
Sometimes, yeah.
Okay.
You can get into that. But also at the time, I had just lost my dad, and I couldn't be away from my mom for that long.
So there were a lot of things going on in your life.
There was a lot of things going on. And so I came home and I was like, where do I need to go back to? And it was yoga. So
got it.
It just felt better living that healthy lifestyle. Like in the modeling world, it's great, but sometimes at the end of the day, you're like, I've had all these toxins on my skin, all this. I'm just sitting in this chair, there's hairspray spraying all around me. You don't really feel good doing it. It looks good. Maybe do you feel good?
Yeah. Do you feel good? That's the thing that matters.
Not really. And so for me, what matters most is how I feel.
That is true. Yeah, I've not taken any podcast or any interview of a model, but so I have a lot of questions about that. So basically, I've seen, like, we always see movies, right? Models, it looks like so glamorous, so vibrant, like, look at their lifestyle. But underneath, on the background, a number of things are happening. Like, for example, you mentioned about the makeup stuff and other shady things and stuff. But people who, like, maybe handle that, or maybe they can make it as a career and maybe enter into like movies or something like that.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think I want to try the acting world. That will be
acting
next.
world, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Of course, you have to build thick skin because there's so much rejection in all of it, right?
Right.
We don't like your look. Why? Who knows? It's not you at the end of the day. It's just they're looking for something different.
Exactly, yeah. I tried the modeling myself also.
Did you really? I can see that.
So
totally.
In San Jose, there was a Bollywood kind of selection. They were selecting for like a clothing brand. So there were around 50 guys who showed up, and 50, 60 girls or ladies. We have to like ramp walk. And at
the runway walk.
You had to do a
Did
walk.
You do it?
I did that. It's my first time in my life I did that. It was so much fun. And then after, in that 50 people, only 10 were selected, and I was the top 10.
Okay.
And after that, top 3 were about to be selected. And the problem with me is like, I think they rejected me because they were looking for confidence also. I was not that confident. So when you were walking, you have to look in the eyes. Maybe nobody taught me that.
Yeah. So and it takes practice.
It takes practice, and the way you're walking and stuff. I thought I was confident, but maybe that was one of the reasons I felt. But it was a fun experience overall.
Confidence
but I don't want to make it
everything at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, exactly.
You need the confidence.
Yeah, but maybe one day we don't know whether the life gonna take over there. We'll see if my podcast become famous.
You never know. You
after you coming,
oh please, we're gonna do it.
Yeah. So cool. Thanks for sharing the journey.
Yeah.
Why not
just
we?
a little briefer.
Yeah,
but-
briefer. Why not we talk about like one of the emergent issues which people are facing here? Like we can go in any direction.
Yeah.
We can go in
there's
like
so many
people are
things.
having stress and depression, anxiety. We can
Mm.
also go in the direction of like how hard it is to find a guy here,
Yeah.
the dating world and stuff, because every topic is very deep in inside.
I know, right? Which
Uh,
one do you want to go into?
So basically, it's going to take hours and hours to talk about one. Let's go after the dating world because that is the most burning topic these days,
oh
and
God,
everyone
yeah.
is having that problem. So let's start
So
with that.
true.
Let's start with the basics.
Okay.
So we are talking about how hard it is to find a partner here. So let's start with like why it is so hard. Let's start with that.
If I knew, No, I'm just kidding. Tell me why. Gosh,
The guys are players here.
they're players. They're narcissists. I mean, where do we want to go? No, I'm kidding. There's good guys out there.
Hmm.
I still believe
They're
it.
good guys
I'll always
also, yeah.
have faith.
Yeah, always have faith.
But
You will
I
find
think
someone. Don't worry.
I really think social media and just having so many options is really messing with people,
Hmm.
right? And we're just looking for that perfect person. I don't know if something that happens to you, but there's all these things that go into play. And especially if you're not living like close by, it's just really difficult.
So living
to
close by is
find.
one of the major things
I
because
think
people
so.
are long
you-
distance.
yeah.
Long distance doesn't work.
I don't think it, I
Because-
mean, it could,
But you should
but
meet
it's not
some.
easy.
Yeah, I think if you're dating in person for some months and then you are doing long distance, that is a different story
100%.
compared to you are dating someone from the day one through a long distance. That's
Yeah.
so hard.
Because you only get like one little amount
The
of
virtual
time.
world.
And you have to get everything in that little amount of time, and your expectations are so high.
Correct. Yeah.
And someone, I think when you first initially meet someone, you're showing your best self,
Right.
right? And you don't know until you know.
Exactly. You
the
are showing your
person.
best part, and that's not your actual part. You want to impress the person, but your actual part may be something different, which you will show little later on.
Exactly.
Which basically you should show on day one.
Yeah.
Because that's what you are actual,
Yes.
right? So
Mhm.
that's one part. And the second thing you mentioned is like people have a lot of options here.
100%.
Like we are living in a digital world where we have apps like Bumble, Tinder, whatever,
Yep.
Coffee Meets Bagel, and they're doing left and right.
Yeah.
So they're like, okay, if this person suits them, then yes, but if doesn't, then there's more options over there. And it's not necessary if the person you are looking at is the right person because they are not mentioning all the things you are looking for. Maybe they're mentioning, but they are doing a false impression. They're not actually the person they are, right?
Mhm.
So, what do you think about the digital world? Like, what's your experience so far in the dating app and stuff like that?
I mean, it's interesting, right? I think for guys, even for me, like it's hard. You just get so caught up in like, I don't know, there's something wrong with this. Maybe I'll find someone else. Or there's just so many options that you just keep searching for something better. And people fall into that trap.
And they
And I've
never
known-
find a partner, and the age keeps on increasing, and they're still
Yeah.
single.
And they're still like, no, just keep waiting, which I mean, you shouldn't settle if it's not right for you,
Yeah.
right?
But there's no perfect person in the world also, right?
No.
Everyone has something which is not the perfect thing, right? But I think that you have to basically say yes to what the person is, and basically love the person who they are, not like perfect person. There's no perfect person, I think, whether
right.
it's girl or guy. I think so,
No, there's not. We're not supposed to be perfect. And
right?
that's what
But we should
makes
be
somebody,
honest in what we are. Like we should know
Yes.
who we are,
and not everyone is honest, right?
right?
Out there.
And
Unfortunately, you want them to be, but
right. And compared to our mom and dad generation, so we are talking about three
Okay.
generations. So our mom and dad, us, and the generation below us. Mom and dad, like basically, it's very easy for them to find a partner. They just got married quickly. I think from
were they matched, arranged, or they just
my mom and dad were arranged, but they
Yeah.
were given some time to decide. Maybe like a month or something. They met.
oh,
They wrote letters. Like we used to write letters, like physical letters, not like emails. It was
that's so sweet.
so romantic. My
Yeah.
mom used to like tell
Oh.
me like your dad used to write me letters, and they used to live far, and used to like come and visit secretly and stuff. So that was because during that time it was a taboo to meet the girl that many times and that often. So that was something, and people used to accept, like basically in 1 month you can't know the chemistry, you cannot know the compatibility.
No.
But the goal was like being financially stable. So every parent of
And that's all they were really looking
they
for.
were looking for. They were like, okay, compatibility is something that we'll figure out later on. It's fine.
Yeah.
Let's figure out the being more financially stable, because their mom, dad, like my grandmom, granddad, they were not that stable in terms of finance, because we all are talking about when India got independence and we were broken between two countries, Pakistan and India. A lot of people came from the other side, and they were struggling with the basic necessities. So in the hierarchy, the basic necessities like food, shelter, and health are most important. Then comes the relationship. Then comes basically finance, and then after that, basically comes the compatibility part and stuff. That's what they were looking for. But now the generations they're looking for more into like compatibility. That's what I think, and that's taking more time because they are thinking about those things way before, like before the marriage. And
True. Which is good and bad.
Which is good and bad also, yeah.
Right? Because now we have more time to really find the right person.
And then even if you find the right person, things may happen bad, right? And divorce happens after that also. I've seen many examples. Or breakups.
Have you? Yeah. Yeah, breakups are tough.
So, like, what do you feel, as in, what do you suggest? What be the ideal dating should be? Like, from your perspective.
How would I change it?
Yeah, how will you change it? I know it's a difficult question, but you can think about it.
That's a tricky question. How would you? Let's think about it. Let's figure the solution out. I don't know. I mean, with dating, I guess you just have to date.
You just have to go out.
You just have to go. You have to do it. You have to get through some tough conversations. I think have the tough conversations off the bat. Right. Versus all the superficial stuff.
Like going to bars and drinking.
Like, what are you looking for? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Like, are we going along the same path?
Yeah, I also have a list of like 5-6 questions which are MVP for me, like
really?
minimal viable.
That's smart. What do you have?
Basically, I ask like the same thing. What are your goals? Do you want to work after marriage, or do you do not want to work? Like after dating, basically, or marriage, whatever.
Do you want kids?
What about the kids? What about the finances? What about the parents? Who will handle them? Who will basically your parents, my parents, both are our parents now, right? It's one family. Who will be taking care of them? And so these are basic questions. If they want kids, how many kids?
So you have like a little screen, kind of like
just 5-6 questions.
I think that's important
because these days I want kids one day, maybe, right? But these days I think generation is like they don't want kids. They want to enjoy their life. That's what I feel like.
That shocks me. But I'm like, but to each their own. Right?
Exactly, right. Like first thing is physical attraction, which is a basic thing, right? But I know physical attraction will go after some time. It's more about like compatibility, which will remain with you. But these days, after like talking to someone, and basically the basic thing, which is physical attraction, when you talk to someone and talk about the kid, they were like, oh, we never want kids. We don't want kids. We want to enjoy our life. We want to travel and stuff, which is also fine. Is there because every person is different. But just like I want to enjoy each and every part of the life, like single, then professional, and also having kids.
Yes. And you need to have those core values together. Right. That'll help you grow. And get better in your own life.
What about the speed dating? You have been to speed datings, right?
Oh yeah. I did.
Tell some experience about the speed dating. Like,
I don't know how much I liked it. I felt like it takes a lot of energy because you have to have so many little rapid conversations with, like you just, I don't know. How did you think? I mean, it's great because you can meet people in person really easily, and like
you're meeting like 10 people in like 1 hour,
Yeah. So that's a tricky one, because sometimes on social media you can see that this person might work for you, so you have a better shot. But in the speed dating world, you don't get to choose who you're going to have to talk to. So you're just like talking to, right?
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So I've been to speed dating. From my perspective, it's like in 1 hour you're talking to 10 people, 10 girls, and then you're like, okay, maybe let's exchange the numbers of maybe 5 of them, and then meet 5 of them later on, and then maybe 2 of them are fine, and then you opt one and stuff like that. It's like a different kind of experience which I've never done it before. I've been to once, and then I never been there. The thing,
Would you go again?
I will not go again. The thing is, like,
will
I
not go
went there
again.
when I was 30.
Yeah.
And they invited the ladies of the same age group from 25 to 30,
Okay.
right?
So we
And
have
there was
the
no
same
lady who
age group
came up,
too.
right? They were
Yeah.
only guys. And the organizer were like, because, you know, the girls or the ladies from 25 to 30, maybe they don't need speed dating. Maybe they find the guys so easy. That's a thought I had. Then they told us, you have an option. Either I will refund your money, or maybe you can wait for the next one, which is the different age group between 30 to 35. In 30 to 35, there were a lot of ladies and guys also. So I was part of that. So that makes me in the impression that at the older you get, the more you come into the speed dating and stuff like that. But the younger you are more into like, uh, I would not say wasting your time, but going out, maybe bars, clubs. You don't require those platforms because you can
True.
get guys easily, either through apps or by talking to someone
So true.
and stuff like that.
That's true.
I would say. And the more older you get, the more rigid you are. You know what you are looking for. You will not waste your time. The more younger you are, like, okay, let's date this person, let's date that person. Maybe
Yeah.
figure out. You are more like flexible.
And I guess that's the fun of it, because you get to meet so many different kind of people,
Right.
and then you get to discover, like, okay, that person's a great person, but for me, they're just not for me.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
there is someone out there for
And
everyone.
I also feel like
I'm gonna believe it.
Yeah,
There's
exactly.
someone for everyone.
Yeah.
There's that perfect person.
Do you also feel like the area where you're living also makes a difference?
Oh God, yeah.
Like this
So-
area, what do you feel about this area, like Bay Area versus any other area?
Here, I feel like so many people are married and settled down,
Especially San Ramon.
especially San Ramon. They've got kids, and being younger, and you're not somebody that goes out to San Francisco clubbing.
Yeah.
You're not going to meet anyone unless it's through an app.
Yeah, I would say, I would also say, I would agree with that. So I would say that's why they changed the name of San Jose and San Francisco as Man Jose and Man Francisco.
Oh my God. I believe that's so funny.
Because it's like there's all men and there's no ladies out here, and mostly it's Indians who live here and also Asians, which is not bad.
No, I love the diversity.
Yeah, it's diversity. But if you go to New York, for example, or Los
Oh
Angeles,
yeah.
you
Well,
will-
and
you'll-
it's easy to get. So, oh, okay, I live 5 minutes from you.
yeah, exactly.
Versus here, it's like, oh, you're in San Jose. I'll see you later.
Exactly. Like
No,
I started
okay,
talking to a
but-
girl who lives in San Francisco. I was in San Jose. I was like, man, this is so far.
It's so hard.
And if you're living in New York, like for example, if you're living in New Jersey versus Manhattan, it's like 30 minutes train ride. You can feel like, okay, it's so near.
Yeah.
I don't know why it feels so far here.
Right.
And
And I
like,
think
for-
because people shut it down at like 8 p.m. It's like, oh, we're gonna see each other at 8. I'm gonna drive. I'll get home at like 2. I don't know.
Exactly.
I
So
have to
that's
work tomorrow.
yeah. And also New York, I feel like it's better for dating because you meet there's a lot of diversity over there. Like you
Oh,
have
yeah.
French people, you have Italian, you have like Middle Eastern, you have a number of like different colors, groups and everything. Compared to here, it's only like we have diversity here also, but it's mostly like tech people. I would say
You're right.
in New York, it's tech as well as finance. It's fashion.
Yes.
It's everything. Even LA is like more movies, editing, more
Yeah.
creators.
And
more
there's events, like stuff
events.
is going on. So you can feel like good about going. Like San Francisco, there's really not much going on.
Exactly. There's only
So what are
farmers
you gonna
market.
do? Yeah, it has to be through the dating app, and you're gonna have to like arrange it, and then it's so much pressure.
Yeah, I would say
versus,
dating.
like just
Yeah,
going out and meeting someone.
I think that we need to change the dating app kind of thing. To
agree.
meet someone, it's only dating app. Like there has to be some organic.
Which
thing.
apps are you on?
I was on Bumble and Coffee Meets Bagel,
Okay.
but my Bumble stopped working because of some reason. Somebody
weird.
reported me or something,
would they-
and they are not letting me log in.
That is so weird. I cannot picture you. Yeah, right.
But I'm on other apps. Like we have Indian apps, which is like for
Do you?
matrimonial apps and kind of thing. So it's funny.
What do does the girl have to message first? No, that was
No, it's Bumble
That's
where the girl
Bumble.
has to message. But I'm on different matrimonial apps, which is for Indian marriage kind of thing.
okay.
Who like people can message whoever wants, but it's mostly serious things because I'm looking for something serious and not wasting time because I'm so old.
You are
old-
not.
I'm
Don't
not. I
even
know.
say
I'm not that old in terms of
You look
American
good.
culture.
You're taking care of your health. Like you are young.
Yeah, if you take care of your health,
18.
you know,
Exactly.
you don't look age. You don't like look the age you are and stuff
No.
like that.
100%.
But in terms of my grandparents, I'm very old.
Yeah, they started young.
I feel
My
like
client is 85, right? And I told him about my dating experience, and he was like, I do not envy your generation. Like, it feels,
Right,
you guys have it really tough.
right.
For you, like, do you think an Indian woman would be best match? And does it have to be the same religion? Like,
Yeah. I would say it doesn't have to be the same religion or same nationality or same culture. It can be different cultures also.
yeah,
I like different cultures because you are basically you have a thing to talk about. Like you already bring a lot of culture with you, and you are basically partnering with a different woman who are from a different culture. So you can.
yeah,
I like the diversity kind of thing in the
I did
relationship.
too. Yeah,
Even though it's difficult in Indian culture to convince parents, mom and dad, like you are marrying someone, but my mom and dad are little, I would say, liberal. They would, if they see the happiness of the kids, and if I like someone, they will get convinced. Okay, let's go for it and stuff like that. So I would say that's the culture. But in India, basically they go for Indian girl or Indian guy. They same compatibility, same culture. That's the thing with Indian. But if you come to the US,
interesting.
you're more open-minded. You are more independent. So they are free to. Like I have several
We are so
examples.
free.
Yeah,
We
they're
can
so
just
free.
do yeah.
I have so many examples
Yeah, well,
where my
that's
friends are
good.
married to basically white girl or Russians, or the Indian girl is married to white guy, or Asian girl, Asian guy.
Totally.
It depends upon the compatibility, basically.
Yeah.
I would say that, and they are happily married. Um, the best thing which matters is like how you're taking care of yourself. If you are basically pushing each other towards a goal, the common goal.
I agree.
If you are basically, everyone has some gaps. Nobody's perfect, so you
Oh
should,
no.
yeah, you should accept the gaps, and you should like, hey, let's do this, let's do that. You should make your life so interesting and spicy, so that you don't
Yes.
feel bored. Because after a
The
certain time, the
richness.
physical attraction goes away. I would feel that, like after 6 months, like I would say in every
No.
relationship, there's 3 phases. One is honeymoon phase, where you are
Yes.
like giving the best out of yourself,
Yes.
impressing other, right? And the second
Now
thing
if
is
you deal
where
with
basically you start seeing the fault. Oh, you have this, you don't clean stuff, you don't do this, you don't do that. And the third phase is like, if you get the second phase get done right, where you are not breaking, a lot of breakups and divorce happen in the second phase. If you accept that, then the third phase is like, where basically you accept that gaps, and then you're like, okay, this something, he has gaps or she has gaps, let's take it as is, and let's take it forward, and we're gonna be happy together as is. So that's the third phase, where you are like, okay, we're not going for divorce or breakups, it's as is, because everyone has some faults and stuff. That's what I feel like. What do you think?
yeah, I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, but it's still complicated in the relationship, finding the right partner. I know
it is
it's very
so
messy, and
yes.
it's one of the hardest thing, I would say. Because when I was in India, I was like, let's go to this college. That was really hard. Buying a car is difficult decision. Buying a house is difficult. But marrying someone or dating someone, finding the right partner is more difficult, I would say.
Oh, it is. Because, I mean, you want your life to be enhanced by
Yeah.
your partner.
Correct. So
It's
what are
hard.
your checklist? Let me
My
ask that.
checklist. It used to just be like, okay, how do I feel around this person? Like, is there that chemistry? Is he Prince Charming? No, I'm just kidding. But now it's like, do we have the same hobbies? Do we like to travel? Is this guy honest? Is he morally right? You know, is stability is huge. But I really think somebody that just is able to grow with you
Right.
and improve your
Right.
life.
Correct.
Or else,
Yeah.
like, what's the point?
Right.
Better to be single.
Yeah.
I've had some really bad relationships with some narcissists, and I know that term is like dropped all around, but it's a real thing.
Yeah.
It's a real thing.
Narcissists are people who are self-obsessed, right?
It's their needs become so
Important.
more important than anything, and they kind of like a vampire. Like, it sucks your energy, and they want everything from you, and
That's so bad,
don't want to
right?
give it in return. There can be some lying involved, some control involved.
So there's two kind of people: who are giving, who are really, and the second who sucks energy, who are
sucks
takers.
energy, or they show up like they're this perfect person, right? They build this fantasy relationship, these future faking fantasy, like we're gonna do this, we're gonna do that. And then slowly they take it from you. But they
Right.
still want you
Right.
to control.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a little
It's,
punching
I
bag.
think
It's
I think there has
a,
to be some device or something which you can identify. Okay, this is that kind of
I
personality,
know.
right?
And you know what? So the dating app I'm on, I don't know how.
Which dating app you are
I'm
on?
on Raya.
You are what?
On Raya. It's like, it's so superficial. It's like you have to apply to get onto it.
Is it?
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like all the actors and
Is
the
it like?
models and then these
Wow.
guys that are very, very wealthy and
Wow.
they think, I don't know.
Is it like
That's
paid app?
stereotyping. What?
Okay. Is it a paid app? You have to pay money
It
for
is a
it?
paid app.
Okay.
Yeah. So you
Did you find any interesting people over there?
There's so many interesting people and there's very many interesting like adventures and stories, but it's a little bit of a corrupt app, I've got to say. It's a tough one.
Yeah, I do not know the name of the apps, but I've seen, like, I heard about that where the influencers are only accepted, or people from the elite club if you're earning maybe that much money, or you have these many followers on Instagram and stuff like that.
And so it becomes really superficial, and then they keep swiping, and you go look at the Instagram, they've got so many girls that are,
Yeah, so many girls.
then
Maybe
it
they're
just
players or
becomes-
something. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
That is true. Yeah, it's kind of very,
it's a gamble out there.
it's very hard, but yeah, but good that I think, I hope you will find your partner.
I hope you do too.
Yeah, thank you. I
We
would feel
will.
like going,
You're a great person. You're going to find it.
thanks so much. It's still the same boat. I'm still on the same boat, like looking for the partner, because I feel like we have to go out and meet someone organically.
Yeah, I
and
really think that's the
like, if you
best
like
way.
hiking, go on a hike, go on a meetup.
Especially if you're someone like family and morals come like, so it's go on a hike, go on a
If you like yoga, go yoga. You will find people over there, because if you are on the app and you like yoga, maybe you will find someone who is not into yoga, right? And it's little harder for you to have the same thinking and same compatibility. If you like biking, go and do biking.
Yeah.
Maybe you find someone over there.
Oh, you're right.
There's one of my friend who loves scuba diving. She became the instructor and she found her partner on scuba
Doing
diving.
that.
Yeah.
I think that's, especially if it's something that really fuels your soul, and then somebody doesn't like to do that, that's going to really put a damper on things.
Nice. So do you like traveling?
I love traveling.
So what's your, which place do you like the most, or you have been the most?
I've been to Istanbul the most,
Where?
actually.
Istanbul, okay, Turkey.
Turkey.
I've never been to Turkey.
I loved it. The culture is so cool, and there's so much history. The food is great.
Nice. Do they have vegan food?
They do have vegan food. It's Mediterranean, so
Yeah,
like you
they're
can find a lot of dried fruits and almonds and nuts and hummus and
nice.
those
I love
kind of
Mediterranean
things.
food here as
Me
well.
too.
Yeah.
But there's so much world I want to see. I live for travel. I need to see so many other places. I want to go to Japan, Australia, Italy is on the top too.
On top list, okay.
Where I taught yoga. Beautiful.
Nice.
Lake
What about
Como.
India? Have you been to India?
I have been to India and I really enjoyed it.
Which
I
part
love
of
the
India?
culture, the people. They're so kind.
Nice. Which part of India?
I was in Kolkata in New
Kolkata,
Delhi.
okay. Nice.
But I want to see the south. And the
South
north.
part, okay. Yeah, India is very interesting country. Like, every culture is different.
Oh,
every food is
gosh,
different.
yeah.
People are different. It's so nice. Even I'm from Delhi, but I'm not, which is the northern part of India. But I'm not
Delhi
been.
was cool.
But I've not been outside Delhi a lot. So
No.
I've not seen my country in itself. So I'm thinking to go in India to travel for some months, because South India is very beautiful also. It has a lot of waterfalls, mountains, hiking. North India is like in different kind of world. It's like Switzerland, where you have like ice of mountains, Himalayas, where a lot of like saints and priests, they do
That's
meditation.
where I want to go.
Monks,
and like
monks
learn
live
more
there.
about Ayurveda and healing.
Healing.
And
There's a lot of like retreats happen there for yoga and meditation. It's on the northern side. It's in the Himalayas, where the Nepal is also there, Kathmandu, where Mount Everest is there.
Oh.
Yeah, so it's so fun to travel. I like traveling as well. So do you have any fun stories or anything you feel like sharing? Anything fun happened, or anything you feel like something interesting happened in your while you are traveling?
Oh gosh, I'd have to think about that one.
Maybe food wise, or
I feel like there's always something interesting happening when you're traveling. Do you know what I
I know,
mean?
right? Yeah,
Like there's just
exactly.
always something. It just you're in a different place. You're in your own world. You're seeing something new. Anytime you see something new, there's something to learn. There's
Right.
something to explore. So nothing like in particular that's
For
standing
me,
out.
I went to New Zealand once,
Did
and
you?
New Zealand is famous for some of the movies like Lord of the Rings were shot there and Hobbit was shot
Oh
there.
God, yeah, I love
So I've
that.
seen those movies and I didn't know like those movies were shot there. So I came to know from the things to do here when I was in New Zealand. I was like, oh, there's a Hobbit Town. There's a place called Hobbit Town where they have still have the houses of Bilbo Baggins and Frodo. If you have seen the movies,
Yes.
um,
Oh,
yeah,
did it seem similar? Like,
it's same. The movies were shot over there, so you can go to the house, not inside the
did it
house.
feel surreal?
It feels real. So basically, think about this: you are in this beautiful place, and there's a house over there. You can walk towards the house, but you can't open the door because it's static. You can't go inside. But the houses are very small, and
That's so cute.
yeah. So there were houses over there, here, and they even give you the beer, which basically those people, I think they are called hobbits, right? They drink. And there's a hike towards Mount Doom,
Ooh.
where the Frodo has to throw the ring. So that is also fun. So I like New Zealand in terms of like hiking and those movies and nature
Oh
and stuff like
yeah.
that. Have you been to New Zealand?
Never, but I want to go.
Yeah, New Zealand is so awesome. Such a small country
I've heard it's
below
so yeah.
Australia. What?
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Below Australia.
below Australia. Yeah, that is cool. Maybe you should try New Zealand or some other countries.
I
And
think
Turkey, you have
so.
been there, which is
Turkey, Egypt. Egypt was cool.
oh, I've been to Egypt also.
Have you?
Yeah, I
Oh,
like
I
the
love
mummies
it.
and the pyramids.
Did you go? Yeah, I do too. The pyramids are so cool. However, like I think I had such high expectations, so when I saw the tourists, it kind of took it away from me. Like it felt like Disneyland of Egypt.
Oh, is it?
Did that
Because there were a lot
I
of
didn't
people.
feel like the spiritual feeling.
Yeah.
Like I wanted to feel like the ancient history, and I
Ancient
didn't
history, yeah.
feel it.
Right.
It felt like a tourist trap.
Every place is like that. I think you should go to Machu Picchu. Machu Picchu, you will feel the spiritual part.
I would love to go.
I think you should go to South America more.
Yes,
I love South
agree.
America. Machu Picchu was like a different. So it's like a civilization on top of a mountain. So basically, either you hike for 4
That's
days,
cool.
or you can take a bus all over to the top,
Oh, I
and
would
then
love
you
that.
see where Incas came like 500 years back or 800 years back. They have temples, they have irrigations, they have like
Ooh.
places they sleep and houses, places they worship and stuff like. They have divided those, and you see in front of
Oh.
them, and it's on the top of the mountain. So basically, it was so fun to watch them and see.
That
Machu
sounds
Picchu is so spiritual and so
beautiful. I think where our thing is going.
cool. So I think it was so fun to talk about different aspects of your life, about travel, about yoga, about dating world. I think we dig deep down into the dating
No,
world.
we could go way into that if you want to, but I'm not sure
next
how
time we
much
can
you
talk
want to know.
about next time we can talk about more about like how to deal with stress and anxiety.
Yeah, I love
That's
that.
a different topic in itself, but a
Sure.
lot of things to talk about. But thanks so much
Thank you.
to be
It was
part.
fun.
Yeah,
I'm
it was
honored.
fun. Yeah,
I'm
thanks to
honored.
be part in the mindfulness with Manish, and I hope you luck.
Love it.
I hope you find the right person you are looking for,
I hope you
and
do
all
too.
the happiness. And thank you so much. Thank you. See ya.
Thank you back.
Bye.